All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. Got me a new chair finally. It's one that has wheels and it doesn't squeak. So anyway, I wasn't going to do a video about this topic at all. I had something else in mind, but somebody inspired me to do this. I'm just tired of this narrative that's out there about either, and I did a video not long ago about, the Bulls and the super team thing, and, the competition was weak, they had the best roster and all that. Well, I could just call bullshit on that. But what I decided to do was forget about the records, forget about, the ratings of the teams, the records, the rosters, forget about all that. What actually happened in the games? Now, if you're 45 or older, you saw this. You're an old school NBA fan. I'm not telling you anything you don't know because you saw it. Now, if you're probably like late 30s to 45, you saw some of this. But this is really for people that are under 40 or even under 35 for sure, that never really got a chance to see all this. And all these games, I watched them. I watched the end of all these games on YouTube just last night and tonight. And I got to tell you, you guys who say this stuff, you're full of shit. I mean, period. This is incorrect. What you're saying is not true. The Bulls had plenty of competition, and they had tough, hard-fought series. Anybody who says otherwise did not watch the games. You just don't know. You're going by these idiots on TV telling you, everything about Jordan's career is just negative. You know what I mean? Do they ever say anything positive about him? That right there should tell you that the credibility is, a little fishy, you could say. And I don't say a lot about LeBron, but I did have a positive one about him the other day. About the All-Star thing. He had a winning record, I didn't change anything or alter anything. No, I research a topic and I release the findings. That's simple. That particular topic, LeBron did really good in. So, you know what I mean? Like, these people on TV will purposely steer clear of anything that shines a bright, good light on Michael Jordan. That's just not going to happen. But anyway, so this video is about the actual games, because everybody makes such a big deal about, the super team and the roster and the stats and all. You can throw all that out the window. What actually happened in the games? All right, so first of all, I'll go back to 1990, because that's when this decade started. Detroit was the defending champions. They were a 59-win team. The Bulls were a 55-win team. So these teams were pretty close to evenly matched, no doubt about it. But in Game 7 of the 1990 Eastern Conference Finals, and I did a video on this, Pippen had the migraine, yes, but the rest of the team, Michael Jordan's supporting cast, players 2 through 6 in minutes played, were a combined 11 for 57. That's the worst shooting percentage for any superstar in that situation in a winner-take-all game, of any winner-take-all since the merger. So he had, basically, no one was going to win with that as your supporting cast. That's the bottom line. Didn't matter didn't matter what kind of game you had. I don't care if you had 60 points. You just aren't going to win when your teammates are shooting under 20%. It's not going to happen. You're going to lose that game. And that's what happened. They lost. So, and I had some idiot in the comments when I made that video, it's just an excuse. No, that's what happened. There's no explaining or excuses. That's what happened, period. All right. So, anyway, the Bulls in 1991, they run through the East pretty easily. Admittedly, the East was fairly weak. Even though I did that video about how they beat 6 top 75 players and all that, it really wasn't that strong of a run to the Eastern Conference Finals. They beat Patrick Ewing and the Knicks with a losing record. They beat Charles Barkley, a 44-win team in the semifinals. I mean, they were all right, but come on. For the semifinals, they were pretty weak. And then Detroit, a 50-win team, which wasn't a bad team at all, Problem was Isaiah Thomas was hobbled. It had nothing to do with the ages of the players. That narrative is ridiculous, and I've debunked that on a few videos. But I think what really affected Detroit, not just in 91, but you know, the bad boys basically 91, 92, 93. By 93, it was over. Isaiah retired in 94, you know, 2/3 of the way through the season. Rodman got shipped to San Antonio. I think Vinnie Johnson retired. James Edwards went somewhere. It was over, basically. But what happened to those guys was flagrant fouls got introduced. So no longer did you have to fear going to the paint, because if they did a flagrant foul on you, there was a penalty now for that, a technical foul, and if you got another flagrant, you're out of the game. So that pretty much neutered Detroit. Now it was just basketball. No longer about, you know, the more physical team or whatever. And Detroit was certainly more than physical. They had gifted players that could get their own shots and all that. And I've talked about that before. But anyway, the crux of this video, the 1991 finals. All right, game 1. So the Lakers are up 93-91. The Bulls have, I think it was about 8 seconds to go. They have a chance to tie the game. Michael Jordan gets the ball. I think he's out on the wing. He shoots about a 15, 18-foot shot, and it rims in and out. They lose. So, game 1, the Lakers win 93-91. The Bulls had a shot, but they lost. They did not make the play at the end of the game to win it, to tie it, force overtime, or win it outright. So they lost. That's what this comes down to. The Bulls made the plays to win the games, period. Nothing about rosters or, how many All-Stars or All-NBAs or records. No, at the end of the games, the Bulls made the plays to win, period. Game 3, the series is tied 1-1. Now, Michael Jordan in Game 2 went nuts. He hit 13 straight field goals, which is still a finals record. They got blown out, what I remember. Game 3, the Lakers, it's in LA, they're up 92-90 with 10 seconds to go. So they're on the verge of going up 2-1. Michael Jordan takes out the ball, and he goes the length of the court. He shoots a floater just over the outstretched arms of Vlade Divac, hits the shot, forces overtime. And then in overtime, the Bulls win 104-96. Now, there's some details that are important. Number 1, Scottie Pippen had fouled out. He was out of the game, so he's not even in there. So Michael Jordan had to guard Magic Johnson and, facilitate the offense, run the offense. Well, Magic Johnson got no points and no assists in overtime, completely shut down, and Michael Jordan, led the Bulls to a huge victory to go up 2-1 in that series. No matter what anybody says about, the Lakers were washed, they weren't Showtime, I'll still say and argue this to anybody. The 91 Lakers were better than the 89 Lakers. Yeah, I said it. That's what I believe. The 91 Lakers were better than the 89 Lakers. Basically, the only difference is, Michael Thompson was a little older. He was like the 8th, 9th guy, whatever. But they had players like Teagle, Tony Campbell, Eldon Campbell. There were solid, players coming off the bench. But basically, all you did was trade in a 42-year-old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Cooper on his almost last leg, because he only played one more year and then he was finished, for a prime Sam Perkins and a beginning of his prime Vlade Divac. That's what you traded. The Lakers were big. They were number 1 offense, or top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense. They were very good. They beat the team with the best record, the NBA, Portland, in 6 games in the conference finals. This was no pushover. Game 5, Chicago is up by 2 points. Now, this is to clinch the series. The Bulls are up 103-101 with about, I think it was about a minute to go, minute 10, whatever it was. All right. Michael Jordan drives into the paint, and he kicks it out to Paxson, who hits a jump shot that puts the Bulls up 2. And the Bulls eventually won the game 108-101. But they had to make that play to cinch it, essentially. If they don't, who knows what happens. But again, you have to make that play. So in these 3 games, it came down to the end. The Lakers, or actually the Bulls, failed to make the play. Jordan missed the shot. It rimmed in and out. In Game 3, Jordan made the play and then forced it overtime and won it. And then in Game 5, Jordan with that pass to Paxson, and Paxson hit that shot, which was the eventual game winner. They made the plays. The Lakers never scored again. 101 with a minute left. That's what the final score was on their end, 101. They never scored in the last minute. So the Bulls made the plays to win it. All right, 92. Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks. The Knicks played them very tough. They had a solid game plan. If Jordan goes in the paint, you put 3 guys on him. It was effective, no doubt about it. So they forced the Bulls to 7. Game 7 was in Chicago. The Bulls shot 58.1%. That's going to beat 99% of any team you play when you shoot that well. So that explains why the Bulls won, in big fashion, because they shot so well. So, but anyway, the Knicks did force them to 7, but the Bulls had to make the plays, which they did in Game 7. Blew them out. Okay, fine. 92, Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6. Bulls are up 3-2. The game was 93-90. The Bulls were up. They were up 93-90. The Bulls were. Mark Price has the ball. It's kind of like a 1-on-2 fast break. He pulls up, hits the 3, ties the game at 93 apiece. And I think that was there was like 50 seconds left. The Bulls get the ball. Michael Jordan comes down in the paint. He elevates. He hits this little runner shot. Banks it. I just watched all this stuff, like I said, today. So it's fresh in my mind. He hits a little bank shot, goes in. It's an and one. And it put the Bulls up 96-93. They win the game and the series 4-2. But it was tied with 50 seconds left. So the Bulls had to make a play to win it. All right. The 1992 finals. The Bulls are up 3-2. Comes down to Game 6. The game is tied 93-93 with, wrong one. 92 finals, Game 6. After 3 quarters, Portland is up 79-64. They're up 15 points. Okay. With 12 seconds to go, Chicago's up 95-93. So what happened was they fouled Jordan. Jordan had to go to the line and hit 2 free throws to clinch it. That's exactly what he did. He hit the free throws, put him up 97-93, and that was it. Ball game. So the Bulls won the championship. That's it. But again, the Bulls had to come back from 15 down in the fourth quarter, and Jordan had to hit those 2 free throws to clinch it. You got to make the plays to win it. I don't care how many all-stars, roster, whatever. None of it matters when it comes down to the end of games. It's about who makes the plays and prevents the other team from making plays. Any other narrative is pure bullshit. It's what it is. Let's just call it what it is. It's pure bullshit. It doesn't mean a thing. All right. 1993, Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks are up 2-0. They take the first 2 games. The Bulls win the next 2 at home. So Game 5 is critical. It's in New York. The Knicks are up 1 with 1:30 to go. Okay? And eventually the Bulls do, a series of plays, whatever. The Bulls take the lead, 95-94 with 15 seconds left. So what happened was, I just saw one of the best sequences you're ever going to see. You just don't see stuff like this in the modern NBA. So Patrick Ewing has the ball, and he's on the right side, and he drives to the left side, and he kind of loses his balance, but as he's falling down, he tips the ball over to Charles Smith, who's in the paint. He turns around, he goes up to shoot it. Horace Grant blocks it. He goes up again. Pippen blocks it. He goes up a third time. Jordan swats it. And then he finally goes up a fourth time, and I believe it was Pippen. I couldn't really tell. It was either Pippen or Horace Grant. Blocked it. Again, the ball got loose, rolled over, and time expired. Game over. the Bulls win in extremely dramatic fashion. But all that had to happen there was Charles Smith makes that layup. They're up 3-2. No matter what the Bulls do in Game 6. Game 7 is in New York, where the Bulls were having trouble winning. So, again, the Bulls made the play on the defensive end at the end. You think it had anything to do with, how deep the roster was or, anything of the sort? No. It had to do with that play. That play determined the series. That was it right there. If Charles Smith hits that shot, it probably would have been a different outcome. I still think the Knicks probably would have won. I think that those two teams were pretty much even. And with home court advantage Knicks. Okay. In the 1993 finals, the Bulls were up 3-1. They were in command of the series. But Phoenix, playing with a lot of heart and pride, won Game 5 in Chicago, sending it back to Phoenix. Well, Phoenix was up 98-96 with 15 seconds to go. They're up. They're going to win this thing and force a Game 7. But what happened was, in those sequence of events, Horace Grant got the ball. He immediately threw it out to Paxson. Paxson hit the three-pointer. I think there might have been like 2 or 3 seconds left, but the game was effectively over, and the Bulls won the championship. Paxson misses that shot. Phoenix is going to have Game 7 at home, and a lot of pressure on the Bulls at that point. I mean, yeah, Phoenix would have some too, but I'm just saying, Game 7 at home is a whole different story altogether, especially the home team always has the advantage in that situation. But like I said, luckily Paxson hit that shot and they won. But all they had to do was miss. Different outcome possibly. All right, 1995, Eastern Conference semifinals, Bulls against Orlando. Okay, the Bulls are up 91-90 with the ball with 18 seconds to go. I just watched this today. Michael Jordan gets the ball inbounded. He's got Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson's hounding him, whatever. So he gets past Nick Anderson. He goes to his left hand. He transfers back to his right hand, not realizing Nick Anderson was anticipating that. And just as he did it, Nick Anderson picked Jordan's pocket. There was a fast break that led to Horace Grant dunking it. Orlando goes up 1. There's still time on the clock, though, to make a play. Jordan gets the ball. It looks like he might have had a decent open shot, but he sees Pippen wide open, passes him the ball, but Pippen was already moving towards the basket. It ended up being a bad pass, and Orlando won that game in Game 1. So again, the Bulls didn't make the play. All they had to do was really just not get the ball stolen from you, and that's what happened. Orlando made the plays. They won the game. Then the clincher in Game 6. The Bulls are up 102-99 with 1:30 to go. So the Bulls are in good shape to win this game. But there was the play, the very next play. I think Orlando got a basket. I think it was like a little Shaq baby hook to cut it to 1. And then the next time Orlando got the ball, Scottie Pippen was trying to take a charge, but he just didn't get there in time. They called it blocking foul. Orlando goes down, makes both free throws, and eventually win the game 108-102. The Bulls never scored again in the last 90 seconds. They never scored another point. And Orlando got 9 points. They made the plays. They won the game. They won the series. It had nothing to do about rosters or all-stars or the record. None of that mattered in that 1:30 seconds. It all had to do with who made the freaking plays. All right. I didn't put these on the whiteboard because I just wanted to stress the ones I thought were most important. But 1997 Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1. Miami is up 41-26 with 4:15 left till halftime. Miami is also up 49-38 at the half. They're up 11. Miami was up 72-67 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, but the Bulls came back and they beat them. Or no, I'm sorry, that would have been, I guess it was in the fourth. Anyway, the Bulls won the game 84-77. They just kind of put the kibosh on Miami in that fourth quarter, and they could hardly score anything. And the Bulls won. In 97 Eastern Conference Finals, in Game 2, Miami is only down, they're down 55-54 with 6 minutes to go left in the game. So they were right there. But the Bulls made the plays down the stretch. They won the game. The Bulls did 75-68. It was a really hard-fought defensive series. Jordan did not shoot well at all. It was one of his worst shooting performances of any series of his career. Miami actually played them really tough. They beat the Bulls in both games in Miami in the regular season. In Game 5, the clincher, Scottie Pippen left after 6 minutes, 48 seconds, and he did not return. So basically the Bulls had to play the whole game without Pippen. And the Bulls won the game, won the series. The rest is history. But I'm just saying, Miami had chances to win games in there. But they didn't. The Bulls capitalized. They won. 1997 Finals. In Game 1, Utah is up 82-81 with 35 seconds to go. All right? Eventually, the game is tied with 9 seconds left. Karl Malone goes to the free throw line. And again, Utah, the game's tied. All he's going to do really is make one and then get a stop. You win Game 1. Malone missed both free throws. Unbelievable. And then at the last second, Michael Jordan hits the jumper and game winner, wins it 84-82. So Malone had a chance to make the play, which would have been his free throws. He failed. Jordan had a chance to make the play to hit the jumper. He did. Game 1, Bulls won. All right, so now the Bulls also won Game 2 at home, but Games 3 and 4 in Utah won both games. They were looking very strong at home. Game 5, the infamous flu game. Utah is up 85-84 with 48 seconds to go. Michael Jordan hits a three-pointer with 25 seconds left, and that ended up being the game-winning shot. The Bulls won 90-88. So again, Utah had a shot. They're up 1 with 48 seconds, but Jordan hit the three. They made the play, period. Game 6, this one's in Chicago. The game is tied 86-86 with 1:23 to go. Utah missed 2 shots on 2 possessions in a row. The game is still tied 86-86 with 30 seconds to go. And the Bulls made the plays at the end. They won 90-86. And actually it was the reason they got 90 is because there was a turnover, and I think it was Pippen hit it to Kukoc. He dunked it. His time expired. The Bulls won 90-86, won 4-2, won the championship. But again, Utah obviously had a chance if it's tied 86-86 with 30 seconds to go. I mean, come on. All right, 1998. I'll go right to the Eastern Conference Finals. In Game 4, the Bulls are up 2-1. Game 4, right at the very end, the Bulls were up 94-93, and Reggie Miller comes out of it, pushes off Jordan, no call, gets the three, immediately turns, shoots, hits the shot. Now Indiana's up 96-94. There's about 2 seconds to go, something like that. Jordan gets the ball in the inbound. He shoots it. It's probably about a 35-footer, and it actually hit the rim, hit the backboard, hit the rim, kind of rimmed around. God, I thought that ball was going in, but it just did not. So now the series is tied 2-2. Each team wins their home game 3-3. So it comes down to Game 7, 98 Eastern Conference Finals. Indiana is up 77-74 with 6:05 to go, okay? So they're obviously in position to maybe win this game. The game is tied 79-79 with 4:57 to go, but the Bulls made the plays at the end and win it 88-83. So in those last 4:57, the Bulls scored 9 points, which really isn't great, but Indiana could only muster 4. So the Bulls made the plays at the end to win the game. If the Bulls don't, Indiana upsets and wins the Bulls and go into the finals, because that was game 7. That was a tough series and tough game. I thought the Bulls might actually lose that one. That was the one that had me, that one and the Phoenix one had me the most worried. Okay, 98, the 98 finals. Very infamous series. In game 1, the Bulls are on the road. It's in Utah. The Bulls force overtime. Now, Utah's playing well, all right? They were forced to a 5-game series in the first round. They won games 4 and 5 against Houston, all right, in a best of 5. They won the last 2 of that series. They whack San Antonio in 5, and then they sweep the Lakers. And that means that at that point, they were 11-1 going into the finals. And I was very nervous because Utah was looking so good. They just crushed the Lakers and the Spurs too. They were looking like a juggernaut. Like, man, can anybody beat these guys? And then in game 1, when Utah won it, they've now won 12 of 13 games against all these great players. I was so nervous. So anyway, in game 2, which is in Utah was up 86-85 with 48 seconds left. Okay? And the Bulls made the plays at the end to win 93-88. But Utah, like I said, they're up 86-85, 48 seconds. Of course they had a chance to win that game or the series. But the Bulls made the plays at the end to win the game. All right, game 4, the Bulls are up 2-1. The score is tied 72-72 with 2:53 to go. So obviously, Utah had a chance to win the game. And it was in Chicago, whatever. The Bulls ended up winning the game 86-82. They just made more plays than Utah did down the stretch. So they're up 3-1, looking like the series is over. But not so fast. In game 5, Utah is up 78-76 with 1:13 to go. Close game. But Utah made the plays at the end. Each team scored 5 points apiece, and Utah wins it 83-81. They made the plays at the end to win the game. Again, this isn't rocket science. Utah made the plays at the end to win game 1 and to win game 5. Those 2, Utah made the plays. In games 2 and 4, it was the Bulls who made the plays. Game 3 was that infamous game where Utah only got 54 points and all that, blowout game. But all the rest of these came right down to the end. The drama was just unbelievable. You just don't get this in today's NBA. And then, of course, game 6. Utah is up 86-83. John Stockton just nails a 3 to put them up 3. It was a dagger. It was over. I was like, damn it. Game 7 in Utah with Pippen to be either out or totally ineffective like he was in game 6. And then the Bulls inbound the ball. Jordan just takes it coast to coast, drives all the way, makes a layup. Big play. So now it's a 1-point game. And I know you guys know this, but for the young guys, you got to understand. 86-85. Utah has the ball. There's only like 25 seconds to go. All they got to do is maybe kind of run out the clock and they win. So they get the ball down to Malone. They couldn't run it out all the way, though, so they had to get a shot out. Stockton gets it to Malone. They had just ran it the play before, and then Malone was going to kick it back out to Stockton. But Jordan ran around the weak side. Malone's head was turned. Jordan slaps the ball out of his hands. He keeps the ball the whole sequence. He waits till there's I think about 7 seconds to go, and then he makes his move, hits the jumper at top of the key. Bulls are up 1. They're up 87-86. But even with that, hold on. The Utah has one last chance. John Stockton gets a very clean look at a 3, and it just rims out. I mean, it was a hair short. I'm like, if it was another inch, it was going in. And the Bulls held on to win. They made the plays at the end. The purpose of this video is, it had nothing to do with competition and rosters and all the other super team, all the crap you guys talk about. Most of these series, at least in the conference finals and finals, most of them were tight and tough games, individual games. But the Bulls made the plays at the end to win them. That's just what happened. Now, If you want to call them a super team because they made the plays that could have went either way at the end, then whatever. But I'm just telling you, that's what happened. The Bulls were not blowing people out. They were not sweeping these series and just running roughshod over them while doing it. That's just not what happened. This was not like the 2001 Lakers or the 83 76ers. No, that was not what happened. So, I mean, the 83 76ers swept the defending champion Lakers. Let that sink in a minute. The Bulls need a last-second shot from Jordan to beat Utah in 98. So, again, with the super team crap, I'm not buying it. And Utah was an excellent, excellent team. And they just get crapped on so much, and I'm really tired of it. But anyway, for this video, the sole purpose is the Bulls made the plays in all these series. And guess what? In 1990, they didn't make the plays in Game 7. They got beat. In 1995, against Orlando, they didn't make the plays in Game 1 and in Game 5. Guess what? They got beat. They had leads. They were up 1 with the ball, 18 seconds. They lost. Game 6, the Bulls were up 3 with a minute and a half to go. They lost. It's all about who makes the plays at the end. You know, nothing was rigged. I mean, the 1989 first round against Cleveland, the Bulls are up 1 with like 12 seconds to go. They do a give and go with Craig Elo. Cleveland does. He goes in, just makes a layup. Now they're up 1. Like, well, damn. So then there was only 2 or 3 seconds left, and then Jordan hit the shot. But again, if he doesn't make that play, that shot, then they don't win that series. They don't beat the Knicks, and they never make the Eastern Conference Finals and get farther than any team in NBA history as a 5th-place team in their division, winning 9 playoff games. That doesn't happen. So again, you have to make the plays at the end. I don't give a shit how many superstars and all that you have. If you don't make the plays in the end, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. I know it's running a little long, but you know this one had a lot to say. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. And that's it. Thanks for watching this long video. Sorry about that. Until next time.